under division. And the little subheading, children, is writing answers as mixed numbers. Maybe you'll remember this. Mixed numbers instead of remainders. I've told you this numerous times, that in the real world, there is no such thing as a remainder. You can't give your friend 2 remainder 3 cookies, because what does that even mean? Okay, so when it comes to real life things, when you're splitting some things up, you can't have remainders. You can't have a remainder of a person. You can't have a remainder of a bus. You can't have a remainder of that, this, or the other thing. So here is an example of that. If you take, here's my example. Example, a 15-inch piece of ribbon, was cut into 4 equal pieces. How long was each? Okay. So if you were doing this problem, obviously what would you do? Well, I'd sketch it out because that's just the way it goes. Here's my ribbon. How long is my ribbon? It's 15 inches. What am I doing to it? I am cutting it into fourths. So to do that, what am I going to have to do? What type of problem is this, Connor? This is a, right, so I do my division out here, and here's where we run into our little problem here. I know that I'm going to get 3 whole inches out of that, that's 12, but then I've got this 3 left over. And if I asked you to give 3 remainder 3 parts of a ribbon, you would have no idea what that is. So I have to, instead of writing this with a remainder, I need to make it a fraction. Make a fraction. And how do I do that instead of a remainder? Ephraim, the first thing I do is? There's no subtracting. I've already got everything I need to make my little mixed number here is all right here with my division thing. Charlie?
Make it 1/3.
I don't make it 1/3, but then you're getting close, I think. Sam?
You put the 3 up and make it 3/4.
Right. Your remainder goes on top of the fraction, and the divisor goes on the bottom of the fraction. It is 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Remainder is top. Divisor will be your bottom. And we can do this out a little visually. Let's do it just for fun. You know, if let's say Charlie has 5 cookies, and he's a nice guy, and he's going to share it with 2 of his friends. Let's say, well, not to be biased, but he's going to give one to John. Charlie is going to share with John, and he's going to share with Ephraim. The rest of you he doesn't like too much. Right. So here's what it would look like. Okay, he's got his 5 cookies. And he's going to hand them out. Here's how. So this is my division part. Well, he's going to give himself one, because I don't know, I guess he gives himself one first. Charlie gets 1 cookie, John gets a cookie, and Ephraim gets a cookie. And he doesn't have enough cookies to give everybody another one. So here it is. I'm taking 5 and splitting it into 3 groups. That's where my 1 whole number comes from, because everybody's going to get 1. Well, how do I split up the next 2 cookies so that everybody gets an equal amount? Since I am cutting it up with 3 people, I'm going to divide each one of these into thirds, or the piece symbol. And I will give, Charlie gives himself and John and Ephraim a third, and then Charlie gives himself and John and Ephraim a third. So they each get 2 of the 3 pieces of one cookie. So hence it becomes 1 2/3. And you have to, when you're reading a problem, if it's a story problem, you know, you're not going to have a remainder. You're going to list it as a mixed number. You know, if it's just a number, if it's just a problem in the book, you could probably leave it as remainders. But you'll know. Here's another example. They'll say, write 25/6 as a mixed number. Which means you just do it as a division problem. 6 goes into 25 4 whole times, but I can't leave it as a remainder 1. My fraction is going to be, Trevor?
4 and 1/6.
4 and 1/6. 4 and 1/6. But don't get no hotter than that, kids. I think you could probably handle that. Another example they say is, you know, it says a whole circle is 100%. A third of a circle is what percent? In which case, here's what you have. We have this is 100%. I'm cutting it into thirds. The problem is here I have to divide 100 by 3. There's no such thing as a remainder of a percent. So you're going to do 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 goes into 10 3 times. You get 1 left over, but I can't leave it as 1, Ethan. It has to be 33 1/3%. Yep. Everything is 33 1/3. Everything is 33 1/3. I think you got that. Now, we got one more little thing we got to talk about. A blank piece of paper, please. And on top, write the word multiples. It's good to take notes on these because people get multiples and factors mixed up. So until you get really good at it, it's probably a good idea to check back with your notes when we ask for this. When you talk about multiples, really what you're talking about is counting by a number. In other words, this. Let's do some multiples. Multiples. Let's do the first 6 multiples. By the way, multiples go on forever. If I asked you to give all the multiples of something, you would say, I can't do that because I don't have that kind of time. I'd like to do something else with my life and sit there and write down multiples for the rest of my life. The first 6 multiples of 3 would be just counting by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first 6 multiples of 3. The first 6 multiples of 7. You're counting by 7, you go 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. The first 6 multiples of 9 would be 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. Now, what do you notice about multiples? Something should kind of stick out with that, Ephraim.
3, like the 3, is basically just like times tables.
Yeah, it is nothing more than the times table. Look, this is, what color do I have here? Let's go with the chartreuse. you know, this is 3 times 1. This is 3 times 2. This is 3 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6. So if I asked you to give a 10th multiple of 6, you wouldn't really have to go all the way out here to the 10th multiple of 6. You would just know that it is the same as
36.
10th multiple of 6. 10 times 6 is,
66.
yeah, the 10th multiple of 6 would be 60. 10th multiple of 6 would be 60. And it's, if you don't know your multiplication tables, that might be a little tougher for you. The first 6 multiples, I don't think they give you anything harder than that. But again, I see too often people getting multiples and factors mixed up. Factors of 9 are 1, 3, and 9. Multiples of 9 are counted by 9. Multiples go on forever. Every number has only a certain amount of factors. It doesn't go on for